everybody, welcome back. If you're new here, hi, I'm Mercury. Welcome to my channel. My daily vlog, so whatever I'm up to is what you're gonna see. And today is another day of cooking videos because that is what everybody asked for. So that being said, it is gonna be cold tomorrow. Like 18 degrees cold tomorrow is what's in the forecast. I am not looking forward to this. So to prepare for this, I need to make sure I'm gonna have something warm and delicious to have for lunch. So I'm gonna make some soup tonight. This is just sort of like a slapdash. I'm making it without a recipe. I'm just kind of going with it, and I'm gonna make a tomato soup. I made that bread earlier this week, which was kind of so-so, but what I'm thinking is I'll be able to toast it up as crouton kind of things and float them in the tomato soup, and I think that might be delicious. So that is the plan. That's what I'm gonna work on. So let's go make some tomato soup. So here's the ingredient lineup. And like I said, this is just slapdash. This is what I had around. So I have a can of whole tomatoes, and then I have 2 cans of diced tomatoes. I have some coconut milk, and that'll make it creamy. I also have some Parmesan cheese, garlic, onion. This is turkey broth, because that is what I have. And then this is fresh basil. This comes right off my basil plant. So that is what I got, and of course salt and pepper. And yeah, let's go make some soup. First up, gotta prep the veg. So I'm gonna take my, oh my goodness, I dropped the onion. Fortunately, it wasn't peeled yet. So I gotta peel and slice my onion. I'm gonna mince the garlic, so basically cut it up into itty bitty teeny tiny little tiny itty bitty pieces. That is my definition of mincing. I'm gonna grate up the Parmesan cheese, and I'm going to, when I cut the basil, I'm gonna trim it into ribbons. That's the plan. So let me get prepping over here. So now that I have all of those veggies prepped, I have my big old stock pot, and if I had more time, if I didn't need this for tomorrow, I'd probably do this in a slow cooker, but I gotta do this faster because it's cold tomorrow. So I'm doing it in the stock pot. So first things first, I'm gonna saute the onions and then add the garlic and saute that in a little olive oil. Then once those start to get a little translucent, I'm gonna add in my tomatoes, some chicken stock, salt and pepper, and then I'm gonna hold off on that coconut milk until a little bit after the cooking process, and I'll put it in towards the end. Same thing with the Parmesan cheese, and same thing with the basil. I'm gonna put those in closer to the end. So I'm gonna let this simmer for a little while. Probably I wanna say like 20 minutes, half hour. And then I'm gonna taste it, see if it needs to be adjusted, what I need to do to it, and we'll take it from there. And I'm also gonna add in some of that turkey broth. So we're gonna put some of this in here too. We go mix, mix, mix. So it's been cooking for a little while now, maybe about 20 minutes. So what I'm gonna do, I have an immersion blender, and because I use those whole tomatoes, I have to blend it down a little bit. So I'm gonna blend it with the immersion blender, smooth it out, give it a taste, and see how we're doing. It needs a lot of everything. It needs salt, it needs seasoning, it needs a lot more of everything. So I added more salt and pepper. I also added a little bit of oregano just to give it a little oomph. And I love garlic. There was not enough garlic in there for me. And I love garlic. So I supplemented with some garlic powder. Now, tastes much better, much more flavorful. I left room in the flavor profile for the cheese and the non-dairy milk, so the coconut milk that I'm going to use, and for the basil that I'm going to be putting in. But I needed to get that base tomato flavor tasting the way I wanted it, because that's the foundation of this soup. So I spiced it up a little bit, you know? It's tasting much, much better. So let me show you how we're looking now. Okay, so this is our blended spiced up soup. By spiced up, salt, pepper, garlic powder, and oregano. But you know, I think I'm at the point where I can add the non-dairy milk and the Parmesan cheese. So first up, here goes the cheese. Let's just melt that in there. Oh yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Look at that all getting melty in there. Fantastic. Now we're eyeballing the amount of coconut milk going in here, so we're going to do a little bit and a taste. Well, a little bit and a blend and then a taste. Because you can kind of tell a little bit by the coloring. That's still too red, so we'll put a little bit more in. And we'll mix that up. Oh yeah, that looks good. So I'm going to give it one more taste. Like it. It came out good. It's going to be delicious on a cold day tomorrow. So what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to let it simmer just a little bit more. Just a little bit of a simmering just to cook down that coconut milk a little tiny bit. Just a little. Like 5 minutes. And then I'm going to let it cool. And I'll have lunch for tomorrow. Oh no, I almost forgot. The basil. I turned around and the basil was still on the counter. And it goes. Oh my gosh. Lose my head if it wasn't attached. Okay, let's. Still got to cook down for that 5 minutes, so it worked out well because the basil goes in at the end. So perfect timing. So the soup is done. It tastes delicious. I am all set for tomorrow. So what I find when I want to have soup for lunch, unfortunately, I don't have a thermos, and it's something I probably should invest in, but just haven't done yet. So in the meantime, I use these mason jars. And they do really well. I haven't had any issues with them leaking in transit. Sometimes I will just like as an extra precaution, I'll put like this mason jar into a Ziploc bag. And that way if it does leak, it is leaking into the bag and not into my backpack. So this is all set. Lunch is ready for tomorrow. And I also took a chunky slice of the bread that I made and I put in the toaster. And I made these toasty little cubes and I'll put them in my soup tomorrow. So lunch, I'm all set. So with that, I am done for the day. Gonna go rest and prepare for this cold because it's gonna be a rough commute in the morning, but I'll get through it. I'll get through it. And until then, stay inspired by everyone. Take care.